do I begin to describe my affection for Joe D'Amato's Anthropophagus? D'Amato, who I've waxed rhapsodic about many, many times in my life, is one of the kings of Grindhouse, which makes him one of the more interesting filmmakers who ever lived. He made porn and he was handed franchises. He truly did it all. If Takashi Miike ever made hardcore, he'd be today's Joe D'Amato. Joe, as far as I can tell, was never exactly the pride of the Italian film industry, but he worked more than any of his peers, and he survived the death of the Italian horror movie in the late 80s, remaining prolific right up until his death in the late 90s. And it may seem like a small thing, but very few Italians ever got in on the slasher boom, which may speak to the industry's disdain for the trend, which is dubious considering how readily they ripped everything else off at the time. Or it could be he was the only one who thought the formula could be spruced up, made properly gonzo. Not only did he direct one of the more infamous European slasher movies, he made one that transcends its origins, and then some. Anthropophagus has the same basic structure as Friday the 13th. A group of outsiders goes to an empty, unfamiliar place, and then are stalked by a mysterious killer. D'Amato being D'Amato, the particulars are all his creation. Instead of teenagers at a campground, we have a group of adult friends on a Greek island for vacation. Things are immediately off. There's no one to be found anywhere. No one alive, anyway. Things are about to go catastrophically awry.
Danny, let's go back.
Look. There's a woman there. So there is somebody around here. Come on.
I dig that D'Amato just decided not to torture teenagers. Either he knew he didn't know anything about them, or rightly reckoned the way to stay ahead of the pack of other slasher movies was to have the unearthly happenings befall some regular people. The killer here also gets major points for stark creativity. He's simple in conception, but you'll never forget the sight of him. Renowned porn star, character actor, and D'Amato's frequent writing partner George Eastman plays the killer here, and he's a stunning thing to behold. His mammoth size is put to good use, as are his piercing, sleepless eyes. Eastman frequently played villains, but here he's perfectly evil, and all they had to do was put some bad prosthetics and hair on his face. He plays a cannibal who lost his mind at sea after eating his family, and in so doing, developed superhuman strength.
No, you can't do it. He's our son.
He's dead, Marta. He's dead. He's meat now. We'll survive through it.
I won't let you touch him. He's our son. Here, eat me, damn you.
Marta. 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 Marta.
The tourists are simply no match for him, and he makes short work of most of them, in pleasingly abject and creative fashion. The film became known for its outlandish, gory set pieces, like when Eastman eats a fetus from inside a woman's pregnant belly while she's still alive. It's actually a rabbit, but that's not really any less gross when you're watching it happen. And then there's the scene where he eats his own entrails. That's the kind of go-for-broke madness you get when you ask Italy's least scrupulous filmmaker to make something cheap. You're going to get something unspeakably mad for your money. But the outre effects aren't the only reason I enjoy Anthropophagus. I just dig the D'Amato atmosphere. How slowly everything unfolds, with people scouring the unconventionally pretty and haunting off-season island. It's supposed to be Greece, but it's actually Italy. While the atmospheric music by veteran composer Marcello Giambini gently prods us into a truly strange mix of ease and discomfort. It shouldn't work, but it does for me.
Danny, the window. Look.
Go away. There she is. Come on, we gotta try to talk to her.
Staffies.
Άρισте, κύριε.
The water's warm. Could you change it for me?
Αμέσως, κύριε.
It's fun to just wander with this movie. More horror films should have this kind of odd vibe, ambling from one bad thing to the next, like the movie can't believe any more than its characters that this is all happening. Everyone seems lost, and it's fun to get lost with them.
Rita! Rita! Hurry, come with me. Hurry!